Hello, my name is James Zwolinski, and my living case study is training and development for improvement. Problem statement: the problem is the amount of process downtime that occurs daily due to various obstacles. When equipment is down, the reason for being down needs to be identified and addressed. Many downtime issues are due to familiarizing the operators with how their equipment operates, where to get the necessary materials, and what to do when operation unexpectedly stops, causing a reduction in operating efficiency. This study intends to identify and examine obstacles currently occurring in the manufacturing process and their relationship to current training efforts. This research is significant to the host organization because it will provide a better understanding of what obstacles are present and why and how they relate to operators working inefficiently. The research question I posed is what obstacles are reducing operating efficiency and what is their relationship to existing employee training efforts. The benefits of this study, the purpose mainly was to identify the reasons for process interruptions such as equipment downtime, materials problems, so that tools can be put in place for the employees to assist them to improve the overall operating efficiency. The benefit of this study will help identify those obstacles and reduce operating inefficiency and find solutions to help increase overall operating efficiency. The conceptual and theoretical framework is identifying obstacles that affect efficiency can be done by identifying the key concepts that affect the organizational efficiency. What are the obstacles that affect operating efficiency? Found through this study, I found employee motivation, needs analysis, training development, training delivery, and training effectiveness, which is an evaluation. The methodology used: the research method was a qualitative method that was conducted through interviews. The subject participated in a general interview that pertained to their perception of existing obstacles that prevent them from doing their jobs efficiently. The subject were interviewed using a standard interview instrument that employed a semi-structured interview methodology. Interviews were conducted and recorded, and in the case where a subject was not available for interview, the interview data was collected in written form. The data was coded and analyzed to find common themes between operating inefficiency, which was the downtime, and employee training. The findings that I found through the interview process and the answers presented to the study participants is that there's a definitive justification between training, communication, company expectation, and equipment downtime. All the participants identified training shortfalls and a lack of standardization in the training processes on the production floor. The participants all described the level of frustration in the communication and standardization of training within the process. A clear consensus was given among all participants that although there was a plan in place for transfer of information, it was not a clear or successful plan. During the conclusion of the interview questioning process, the participants mentioned that a consistently documented and systematic process was missing from the training and communication process to new employees. All subjects made a reference to senior employees transferring knowledge to new employees, but there were no documented results of this transfer of information, helping to improve the operating process or to record a definitive reduction in documented downtime. The limitations were due to the interview subjects from being only from one process in the entire operation. Some of the obstacles that were identified may not be consistent with other obstacles in other processes. This study was based on the rice and bran process in one facility, and in this organizational location, there are 4 more facilities that hold 8 separate processes besides the targeted process for the study. The other limitation is that this study only focused on one specific shift of the identified process because of availability limitations due to the operation running on a 24-hour schedule. The subjects interviewed were primarily on a day shift, which is the source for most of the daily operation. The interview subjects also provided limited information based on their individual roles in the manufacturing process. Examples would be that more salaried personnel were available for interviewing than union hourly employees. This also identifies another research obstacle: union leadership. During the interview process, the union officials were involved in monitoring the interviews given to their union hourly membership, so the answers to some of the questions may have been limited due to union involvement. Interviewing subjects that were being monitored by union officials may have created some inconsistencies in the answers given to the interview questions. Some of the last ideas to mention is that the union officials made a mention that the current collective bargaining agreement only allowed for the operation of one production line in one specific process at the end of the current local bargaining agreement. This means that the direction of the organization may not be to improve the process in any way, which would allow for the operation to run as it currently does without any motivation for improvement. The study may have been more thorough as it was spread across the facility and included all 10 processes, but since the processes are different, training and communication requirements differ as well. This particular study focused on the process with the lowest operating efficiency and the need for the most improvement. Other processes that would have been given the same interview questions may have resulted in different obstacles identified in their respective processes. The recommendations that I found for the host organization were to improve the new hire orientation process, consider a coaching and mentoring program for all management, and work toward improving communication skills for everybody. The recommendations for future research are to find out how to improve the new hire orientation process, how to coach and mentor in the workplace, and how to effectively communicate. Reflection for my case study. During this case study, I learned that the perception of the organization from upper management and the perception of the organization on the organizational floor are not always the same. It seems that although the horse organization has the right intentions, they are not clearly perceived that in the same positive manner from those that receive the information or lessons that are presented down to them. Accountability is also a factor in achieving success, but I also learned that how to hold individuals accountable is actually a difficult task. It seems that although many speak of holding people accountable, they do not have the skills or the means to hold others accountable. Clear expectations are not always set, which in turn creates a difficult task of accountability when those are being held accountable do not have a clear understanding of what the message or goals really are. If the host organization set clear goals and expectations that are not questionable, accountability would be an easy practice and efficiencies would most likely be higher. This concludes my video presentation of the living case study. Again, my name is James Zwolinski, and thank you very much for watching.